Alright, theme song time.
Okay.
Theme song? Alright.
Yeah. Okay. How about
Yeah.
Blackbird singing in the dead of podcast?
I like it.
Take these broken wings and learn to podcast.
No, I think it should be open up your ears and listen to the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Podcast.
Podcast.
I think that's a winner.
That's really good. Yeah.
How about welcome to the Failchildren podcast?
We are going to start a podcast.
Every Wednesday. I think the podcast is about to begin. I think we got it.
That's probably the good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that one.
I think that was probably perfect. I think we're really good at this. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I got to sleep in. We went bowling.
I did so shit at bowling.
It's okay.
It was like fucking depressing. Throwing straight gutter balls. I wanted to put a bullet in my head.
Oh my god.
I know. That's just where I'm at though.
I got 100. So.
You did get 100.
Yeah.
And that's really good for how rarely you bowl.
Yeah.
See, I bowl every day, so when I do bad, it's like embarrassing because it's like, wow, you're actually trying. Like if you suck at something and you're trying hard, that's like the most embarrassing, pathetic thing you can do.
Yeah, it's true. It's like being a tryhard, but then being bad. Where I was just kind of like fucking around and like dancing and being like, boo! And I got 100. And
right.
Yeah. So
that's cool. It's cool to like not care and do well.
Mm-hmm.
Like being cool has like completely changed. Cool doesn't even exist anymore. With the internet and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that shit, it's impossible to be cool. Like cool used to be like mysterious. Like it used to be like Jim Morrison and Bob Dylan. Like you kind of like didn't really know what was going on in their head. They would like wear sunglasses all the time and like the only things you'd ever hear them say were just like little clever quips and they'd be so mysterious. But like, if Bob Dylan had Instagram, he wouldn't be cool at all. Like Bob Dylan with the selfie, like, that would like kill his cool immediately. Cool doesn't fucking exist anymore. Can you think of one person that exists right now that's like cool?
No.
No, I can't because everyone has a fucking internet account.
Yeah, everyone's too forthcoming.
Yeah,
with their lives.
we've seen everyone do something embarrassing.
Yeah.
There's no one out there who has no cringy content on the internet.
So it's almost like what makes you cool now is like just admitting that you're lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not trying completely.
Yeah, just kind of being really open about just kind of like being a dirtbag and just like everybody, you know, like how insecure you are. And
Like that's why everyone hates Beto O'Rourke.
Oh my god.
Because Beto O'Rourke is trying so fucking hard to be cool. And he's trying so hard to be like this relatable dude, but he just looks like a fucking, like that kid in high school that showed up with a Dead Kennedy shirt, and you're like, you don't listen to the fucking Dead Kennedy.
Well, what's the most sad is that Beto O'Rourke probably was at one point cool. You know, like the fact that he like was part of like one of the first ever like hacking groups just in history, and
he was like an anarchist and he was in a punk band.
Yeah.
But that's like his entire platform at this point. It's like the one only good thing about him. And so people just hammer that home if they like Beto O'Rourke. Even though he's like a Republican in disguise. He's like a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah.
Sheep in wolf's clothing? I don't fucking know. Doesn't matter.
Wolf and sheep's, you know, because the wolf is trying to eat the sheeps.
Gotcha.
But it's dressed like a sheep, hiding among the sheep. Disguise. So it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Why would a sheep dress like a wolf and try to hang out with the wolves?
So it doesn't get eaten. It's like, hey, I'm one of you, motherfucker.
But then it would... I guess. Yeah, sure. I guess it works both ways. It works both ways.
Sayings don't matter.
Sayings don't matter.
As long as you know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter.
It's true. Language is very arbitrary. Speaking of Beto O'Rourke, he tweeted... This is like the most absurd nothing burger tweet I've ever seen in my life. Okay. He tweeted, first off, it starts, let us be clear. How much more can you be, like,
Let us be clear. Beto O'Rourke is such a nerd, dude.
Well, and he's trying to be Obama also. Like, everyone's like, oh, he's Obama 2.0, or I've seen people call him White Obama.
Oh,
like,
God.
I've seen people call him that. I'm like,
first off, Obama sucks. So, like, I don't want another Obama.
Yeah. Obama was, like, I would say, disappointing.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Lots of wars in Syria and drone strikes.
Yeah, and he wasn't able to get, the healthcare stuff that he like, ran as a progressive and then wasn't able to push anything through. But, anyway. So he's trying to be Obama. Everyone's calling and saying, oh, he's like Obama 2.0. He says, let us be clear, which, like,
Let us be clear.
Yeah, I mean, Bernie says that too, but...
Let us be clear. I can't do Bernie, but I'm going to try
That's
anyways.
pretty good, actually.
Let us be clear. I do the arms, and people know I'm Bernie if I do, like, the fucking...
You wave the arms around.
Yeah, if you do
Beto does that, too. He moves, he's very...
Beto does, like, fucking cringy-ass hand movements.
He does, it's almost like he's doing interpretive dancing. Okay, but
he's, like, standing on tables and shit. It's like a DIY house show.
Yeah.
That's what his rallies are. They're like a house show. People, like, drinking PBR.
Yeah. Because he says, let us be clear. We will not be defined by our fears or the smallness of our differences. We will instead be known by our ambitions, our aspirations, and the resolve, the creativity, the service, and sacrifice by which we will have achieved them.
Oh!
I can't, like, what is it? What?
He just says words that sound nice but don't mean anything.
This is literally, okay, this is like... If you're like a middle manager at like some just kind of like tech company and you just have to go, like, you have to say like, oh, we have a meeting, it's weird, it's like a motivational, like, the quarterly reports have to come in and we're a little bit down this quarter, we gotta motivate all the, the higher level guys, make sure they all know we're working hard, you gotta just come up with one sentence, that's what you just, and then you just plug it into like an algorithm.
Yeah, he used like he did like a presidential speech generator on this shit.
Yeah, he went to presidentialspeechgenerator.com.
Beto's panicking like, oh God, I don't know how to do this. I can't stand that guy.
He has no positions. People are like, well, do you support Medicare for all? And he's like, it's not about using the words Medicare for all specifically. It's about providing everyone with access to affordable healthcare options.
For a future that's greater for everyone. In a world that we all come together to be as one. We fight the differences that we have among us. Like, yo, did you vote with Republicans 76% of the time? Well, let me be clear. We need to have a sort of togetherness to provide a future for our tomorrow.
We have to work across the aisle to combine our realities. Anyway, he's the worst.
Look, what's your rank? What's your top 5 candidates for 2020?
I'm going Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie's my number 1 too.
And then probably Elizabeth Warren.
Really?
Yeah. And then Andrew Yang.
Whoa, that's higher than I thought he would be.
And then everyone else can fuck off and die, and I don't give a shit.
Sweet. Really, my number 1 is Bernie, and then I'm going number 2, Tulsi. And
Tulsi. I forgot about Tulsi.
I'm going to go Andrew Yang.
Sorry, yeah, Tulsi is above Andrew Yang. She's so not even in the conversation, like, it doesn't even matter.
It's like Andrew Yang, there's a lot of problems with his ideas, and he's attracting, like, a weird kind of following, but at least Andrew Yang is, like, putting out policy ideas all the time. Like, he's just, like, telling us what he's gonna do, giving us policy ideas, unlike Beto O'Rourke, who says fucking nothing. I don't even know what he stands for.
Yeah, Andrew
His website says nothing. He's got no ideas. He stands on tables and tries to give epic speeches like a monologue at a fucking movie. No. I want someone who's... Bernie Sanders, too. It's like, he's coming out there from an angle. Tulsi, she's coming at it with an anti-war angle.
Yeah, like...
Gotta have something, some substance involved.
Yeah, okay, Andrew Yang is just, like, so... Let's talk about Andrew Yang. Okay. Andrew Yang is just so bizarre. Like, what is going on, bro? I don't know what's going on. What the fuck is happening? Bro, I'm freaking out about Andrew Yang.
Yeah, no, I think Andrew Yang might, like, win the bid. He's got,
he's not gonna win, or
I think he's gonna win.
Okay.
And we're gonna play this podcast back and, like,
Okay,
the 2020 primaries, and you're gonna be like, holy shit.
Listen, you guys.
He's gonna have that, like, remember Donald Trump was polling about where Yang was, but he's got that grassroots support.
No, you guys,
that's gonna fucking...
Listen. Andrew Yang, I'm telling you, like, in 2 years from now, Andrew Yang's gonna have won the presidency. And we're all gonna be living in this weird dystopian future.
Where the robots do everything.
Yeah, like he's gonna push for all the automation. We're all gonna be living out on some pittance of $1,000 a month. There's gonna be a weird ruling class that owns all the automation robots. And we're just gonna be, they're gonna be like, well, you guys have your iPhones and your $1,000 a month. Just shut the fuck up.
And let us do our thing. Let us do
our fucking thing. And we're gonna be like, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the $1,000 a month, sir. And I'm telling you guys right now, AI is gonna fucking take over.
You know what?
I'm right.
All right, Alex Jones, calm down quite a little bit. You know what? For some reason, I'm all right with that, because right now we have our corporate overlords, and I don't have shit for it. Like, I just, at least Andrew Yang is like, okay, we're gonna have the corporate overlords still, but here's your shit. And he at least supports clean energy, so maybe the Earth won't die? I don't know. I think we're kind of past that point of the Earth dying. I've kind of accepted my fate of maybe being like an old 80-year-old.
Max or like
yeah.
Book of Eli shit, where you can't go outside or whatever.
See, if we're gonna be living in an apocalyptic time, I at least want it to be in like my 30s, you know? So like I'm kind of in my prime, I can kind of like
fight people for resources.
Yeah.
You can like punch people in the face still.
I can like find myself an AR-15 and we can like live comfortably for a while. But if it's like when I'm in my 60s, it's game over. Cause
no, I don't know.
I'm tired all the time. No. In the apocalypse, I'm gonna be so sleepy, dude.
I think you're wrong. I think you're absolutely wrong. I think I want to be old during the apocalypse. I think I want to be like a wise old woman, so that people will come to me and like bring me stuff, and they'll be like, and they'll ask me for advice, and I'll just have like really long white hair, and I'll have like a just really like wrinkly face that has war paint on it, and I'll sit in like a room, and I'll be like really fat, and people will come up, and they'll be like, and they'll ask me for advice, and they'll be like the tribe is, you know, something's coming, and I'll be like, shh, and they'll be like, worry not,
worry not, young one.
Yeah, like and people won't like fuck me up because I'm like an old lady, you know.
And I'll be like
that's what I'm thinking.
I'll be the first gentleman of this like weird tribe. We'll still be king and queen of the losers, but
yes.
And then we'll have like our little tribe.
Exactly. I'm hoping it doesn't all go downhill until I'm old and nobody will beat up an old lady.
And we'll have like all the gay kids in our tribe, because for some reason like all of our friends and fans are like the gay trans people, so we'll be like this like huge rainbow flag army.
Yes. Queer inclusive. Queer inclusive post-apocalyptic tribe.
Not only are we queer inclusive, we are straight exclusive.
Oh, of the straights? Yeah.
Yeah, no straights. No straights allowed. I'm just kidding. The straights can come.
Only if they're nice.
But we'll have just like a crazy gay...
Many of the straights are not nice. I'm telling you.
Well, many of the gays are not nice. I saw a Twitter account that's the gays for Trump.
Ugh.
They suck.
Gays for Trump. What y'all doing?
At least the gays for Trump. Like, I think I like Trump supporters more than, like, Kamala Harris supporters. But I don't like Trump more than Kamala, you know what I mean? But at least, like, the Trump supporters are, like, honest. And I know where they stand.
Yeah, I see. I know what you're saying. I don't like agree with you, but like you know.
I think I'd rather be friends with a Trump supporter.
I think in reality, I'm friends with more Trump support. I mean, like my grandma. You know. I mean, okay. I don't know if my grandma's a Trump supporter. This is okay. This is on video. My grandma. I don't. I think she says she's an ever Trumper, but then she'll say stuff like, "Oh, he's starting to make a lot of sense." You know. So she's like one of those. So I don't know, like
her tax cuts came in and she'd be like, I think this guy fucking knows.
No, for real.
Knows what he's doing.
For real though.
She's like, I don't like when he says the naughty words, and then the tax breaks come in. She's like, oh fuck, you know what?
That's like kind of exactly what happened. She's like, well, the Democrats are talking about, I don't know, doing weird stuff with the taxes, and I sure like my money, but I understand. I mean, if I was old and rich, I don't know how I would feel. You know what I mean?
You know what the worst part is under the Trump tax cuts, our taxes went up like a significant amount.
I mean, we haven't gotten our taxes back yet, but I've heard
our tax bracket. Like, our tax bracket went significantly up.
I mean...
It was like tax breaks for the rich and an increase for us for some reason.
I mean, okay.
It's like he had to even it out because I think we lost, I can't remember the exact number, but billions of dollars from the tax cuts, because that was revenue that wasn't coming to the government now.
Okay. Just like to be like completely accurate, right? It's more about like how you filed and stuff. A lot of people didn't like literally have to pay more in taxes who were like middle class and stuff. They just changed like some weird laws and stuff so that if people filed the exact same way they always filed, they didn't get as much back.
That's bullshit.
Yes, it is bullshit. But just to say, like, they didn't...
It's like they have socialism for the rich and then capitalism for the poor. It's like capitalism ravages the poor, but whenever the banks fail, when the farmers fail, when anyone fails, the government's there to bail them out.
Yes, the government definitely, like, in this kind of like weird, like, you know, mesh of like, you know, this imperialism, late capitalism, you know, nightmare bullshit that we have happening right now. The government just wants to like kind of perpetuate the system because they realize that it's like so precarious that if all the banks fail, like basically American society and UK society and whatever would just collapse.
Oh, it would be over. We would all be trying to figure out anarchist communes the second that happened.
Exactly. So they have to prop up the banks because if all the banks fail, like it would just be like
a disaster.
It would be a fucking disaster.
But what happened was when the banks failed, they got off scot-free without any sort of...
Yeah, exactly. They
I feel like reparations is the wrong word, but any sort of reparation for the people that got screwed over by it.
Yeah, people like lost their homes and stuff, and then they ended up just like using taxpayer money to bail out the banks, and like they just, kind of performatively put one guy in jail for the 2008 crash. And they like changed some like regulations on the banks, but then immediately like Republican like Congress people just kind of push back those regulations again, and now the same shit's happening. And
do you think that Medicare for all is even possible?
Yes, I mean like
I personally don't.
Okay.
I'm rooting for it. I'm gonna vote for it. That's like my biggest issue when it comes to like choosing who I'm voting for. Mm-hmm. But I think there is like maybe a 10% chance it gets through Congress.
I think that Medicare for All has a lot of like grassroots support, and I think that also the money.
Yeah, like 72% of Americans support it.
And I think that the math works out on it. Like if you look at like actually like Bernie's like plan for all of his stuff, people are like, "How will you pay for it?" But he
it's like just go to his fucking website.
Yeah, he has it like very clearly like laid out how he's gonna pay for it. It's like taxing Wall Street speculation.
Oh God, they should get quadruple what they're paying now.
Yeah, he's gonna be taxing like big pharma, certain aspects of big pharma that they're just kind of getting away with being not taxed, taxing certain corporate things that they're getting away with.
Prescription medication, I think, is one of the most fucked industries because medicine for people, like the amount that it costs is out of this world ridiculous. If I don't have insurance and I go to pick up my meds, it would be probably more than our rent if I didn't have insurance.
I was saying on Twitter, like I have a muscular disability and I take like a medication for it that like literally changed my life. Like without it, I would.
She has to get like help just to like get out of bed. Like I have to carry her around when she's having like a.
Yeah, I have like attacks of paralysis, and without my medication, I have attacks all the time. But with my medication, I barely have any attacks. It, like literally, I need it. You know what I mean? To be able to like work and stuff like that. And without insurance, the medication, it would be $10,000 a month. But with insurance, it's free. But I'm gonna be kicked off my parents' insurance next year.
Hey, Ruby.
Like, so I don't know if I were to ever to lose my job, I wouldn't have insurance because my insurance is linked through my job. It's just like this, absurd system that we have. Ruby, look at this little bald lady.
So we took our cat to the vet because she's been licking all her fur off, and we thought maybe she had a rash.
Yeah.
And so we took her to the vet, and the vet said the most bullshit thing I've ever heard in my entire life. The vet said that Ruby had OCD.
No, it said she has anxiety.
She has anxiety, and that's why she's licking her fur off. Really? Is that what you're...
Yeah, it was like two vets. It was like this guy who like gave her like a skin scrape, make sure she didn't have fleas and all this stuff. And then he was like, yeah, she is all good. There's no bugs or anything, so she probably has anxiety.
Anxiety, yeah. Or could maybe you just not figure it out? I think you couldn't figure it out, and we're just like, what can I say the cat has that they can't prove? Anxiety.
And then the bill was $180. I was like, okay.
Thanks we paid $180 for them to tell us that our cat has anxiety.
Okay, Ruby, I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's how I feel like going to the therapist.
Yeah, that's what happens to us too. They go in and we're like, I feel like shit.
Like, I want to die. Everything is fucking terrible. Like, this, I need help now. And they're like, well, have you tried deep breathing exercises? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. All right, that'll be $300.
Yeah. Have you hit your deductible?
Oh my fucking God.
Holy shit.
This is a garbage world.
Yeah.
We're living in a garbage world.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
We're failing in the garbage world. You can succeed in the garbage world.
It's unlikely, but yeah, you can.
Yeah, no, but if you do, this world is great.
Yeah.
America is fucking amazing if you just make enough money.
You can get like a boat, and you can get like a really nice car, and
you can just drive around and eat wherever you want. There's millions of restaurants.
Totally.
You can fucking...
It's like an infinite buffet of life.
Yeah, you just live amazingly.
Yeah.
Fuck it, it's ridiculous how many hours we spend, like, through work and school.
Well, it's okay. Okay, so one of the things that I do, which I probably shouldn't, like, I probably shouldn't do this, but, like, I work a job, and then I'll get, like, a paycheck, you know what I mean? And I make, like, a certain amount per month. And because I make tips, my, like, hourly wage isn't very consistent, but I think of my wage as, like, monthly. You know what I mean? I'll say, like, okay, I make, like, you know, $1,600 a month. Generally, I do. And then I'll buy something. I'll be like, okay, I really need, like, a new pair of headphones. Or, like, I really want to go out to eat.
Or I really need to fix the car windshield.
Yeah, or, like, my car windshield's broken. And that's going to be, like, $120 to replace or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'll wait till next paycheck because I had to work, you know, I'll have to work 2 days, 2 shifts to pay for one car windshield.
When you start thinking like that, though, you'll go insane.
Yeah, it makes me go insane. I'm like, okay, I really want, like a sandwich from, like, Pita Pit. I'm like, I really want to go to Pita Pit. But it's an hour. It's an hour of work.
For a sandwich.
Yeah.
But to be fair,
to
like...
go to Jimmy John's.
When I was, like, 18 and unemployed, I went and did yard work for, like, 3 hours just for lunch. The guy was like, I'll make you guys lunch if you fix my fucking yard. And we did it, so... Well,
and that's true. Actually, like, I'll have, like little kids that'll come up to the place that I work, and they'll have, like, a $10 bill that, like, they were given probably by their parents. And they'll say, like, oh, hey, can I get 2 milkshakes? And I'm like, yep, that'll be $10. And they give me the $10. And I know this is the only $10 they have. Like, this is all of their money. Like, they're, like, 8 and 10 years old.
Dude, that's
like,
the beauty of being, like, 10 years old is, like, fuck it, I have $10, and this is one milkshake. Yeah. I will put down everything I've got for this fucking milkshake. Yeah.
Like, exactly. I'm like, but, like, they're just gonna go, you know, their mom will, like, make them breakfast, lunch, and dinner and buy them clothes and stuff. But, like, I think even when I was 8 years old, like, my parents would be like, oh, you're gonna go, you know, to the movies? Here's $20. Because they would think, like, I was gonna buy, like, popcorn and go to the movie, but I would, like, pocket the rest and just save it. Yeah, I'd be like, I don't want to spend all of it. And I would, like, save it. And I, like, I'd, like, have some money, dude. I don't even know what I'd spend it on, like...
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I ever got that much money from my parents.
Really?
Ever.
Well, I was a rich kid, so...
Yeah, no, I know. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Tight.
Yeah.
My mom would give me, like, $25 per week for my my school lunch. That's pretty cool.
I didn't have that. Like my...
Sometimes I would, like, have a little extra, and I'd go to, like, the gas station and get, like, Skittles.
See, I had, like, like, the school lunch program. So it was, like, I would just go, and they would just be there ready.
I fucking hated that food, though. And this was, like, at the end of high school when you were allowed to leave. So, like, we would leave every single day. And
I was working then. I had my own job.
Wow.
I worked at Carl's Jr. in high school.
Because you gave up?
Yeah. I left home and I worked at Carl's Jr.
That's pretty punk rock. If any of you listeners are thinking about like, hey, shit's terrible, just go get a job. Go,
Yeah, I mean, I was 18 in high school, though. Like, I was, like, an older high schooler. So, like, I turned 18 halfway through senior year. Left home. Moved in with somebody. Got a job. So, yeah, then I was like, I'm doing that. So then I did whatever. I would, like, buy weed because I had money.
Hey. Easy there.
I don't anymore. But I was an adult.
Don't say that.
What?
Marijuana.
Do you know
what that does? Do you know what marijuana and jazz can do to a white woman?
Hey, you take it easy.
But it's really sad though. Like, if you look at the statistics of Americans, it's 80%, I think a little higher than 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So every single paycheck is what their life depends on.
I mean, we basically do that.
No, we absolutely are paycheck to paycheck.
We used to literally run out of money. Now we almost do. We'll have like $200 left when our next paycheck comes in, which is pretty rough. Like, that means that if something bad happened to one of us, like, if like...
We'd last 2 weeks is what we would... If we lost our jobs...
Yeah. And we have like a credit card that has like a $350 limit. So that's like, we have an extra emergency $350 on a credit card.
But if we lost our jobs, what would happen is we would take a little bit to find a new job, and then it would be 2 weeks until we received that first paycheck. You're looking at maybe like a month where we would be...
Literally broke.
We would be late on the rent. We would be unable to eat. Phone bill would be past due.
Yeah. Car insurance wouldn't get paid. I wouldn't pay the car insurance.
We'd be fucked. And then when our paychecks came in from our new jobs, they would go straight to that, and we would have no money again. It's just so crazy that like...
Scaring me, man.
No,
we gotta save better.
This isn't just us. This is 80% of Americans are just one disaster away from fucking oblivion. Just absolute desolation.
We totally are. Even like, we like saved up for a vacation for like forever. And we were like, okay, we have the right amount of money for our vacation.
We saved up forever.
For so long. For like a year and a half to go on a vacation. And then on the vacation... The airline lost our luggage, so we had to buy an outfit each.
Just one outfit.
One outfit each in Iceland. But Iceland's expensive, so it was like $250. That
was the cheapest place.
The cheapest at H&M, which is the cheapest place we could go to.
Everywhere else it was like $400 a shirt.
Yeah, literally.
Not joking, $400 for a fucking t-shirt.
And a sweater, which we needed because it was freezing.
I wanted an Icelandic sweater so bad, but I was like looking at the prices. I was like, okay, $1.3 thousand. Okay, that's like a month of work.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So it was crazy, but even that $250 to like replace literally one outfit because we lost the bag.
It made my stomach sink.
Yeah.
Just swiping the card, just shunk, like,
That decimated us. And we're probably like still healing from that extra $250 that was unplanned.
Hey, come
here. And from Ruby having to go to the vet, you silly bald bitch.
Hey. So thank you so much to everyone who's bought one of our CDs.
Yeah.
Seriously, like, so much of our trip was saved from being able to like take money from our band account.
Yeah.
Like, we were pretty fucked, but like we were able to take $300 out of our band account.
Yeah, that literally was our like emergency band account, and we've been putting money back into it, and that was what we used to get like the microphones for this and for our new album that we're working on. Yeah,
it's really hard to like, but we're doing all right considering.
Yeah.
But we are absolutely living paycheck to paycheck. If we had a medical emergency or car accident, be careful, motherfucker, because we're this close, dude.
That's why I haven't fixed the fucking windshield. I'm like, I can wait in the windshield. It's not shattered yet.
Some like stray pebble is gonna come and just, and it's gonna be over. And it's gonna be over for like a month.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on like the top ramen diet, defaulting on our payments.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
This is America. So are you thinking Elizabeth Warren, really?
I love her.
She makes me nervous. I think she's going to lose to Trump badly. Trump owns her. Trump has embarrassed her like 3 times.
Yeah, this is something that you were saying is that Tulsi definitely has more of kind of like a badass woman energy than Elizabeth Warren.
She was a fucking Marine or like some sort of combat veteran.
She wasn't a Marine, but she was a combat veteran. And she did like medical stuff in the army for a long time.
She's hardcore.
Yeah. And Elizabeth Warren, unfortunately has kind of nerd energy.
Absolute nerd energy.
And Andrew Yang, for some reason, is able to own his nerd energy a little bit better.
Absolutely.
He's like, I just know the math and blah blah blah. And Elizabeth Warren,
it's more like, you guys shouldn't be saying that. That's very rude.
Yeah.
You are being very irresponsible right now. That's what Elizabeth Warren feels like to me. And I like a lot of her ideas, but it's just like what the presidential race comes down to a lot is just like one-on-one shit talking. Unfortunately, that's what it is. But like Donald Trump, gotta say, he fucking owns that. The political discourse has changed a lot. I mean, during the 2016, we were talking about like dick size with Marco Rubio and Donald Trump. Like, I don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. And I think Elizabeth Warren is just not really prepared for that. Like, Bernie will tweet like, "Oh yeah, you're damn right" on Twitter. Yeah, Bernie,
stuff.
I can hang.
Yeah,
with Trump.
Bernie can hang.
Bernie is like an old man. He'll just like laugh at Trump's ridiculous stuff and just. Yeah. I feel like he can deflect it well.
And Bernie also like is like, you know, his ties are all like unkempt and like he doesn't he also is not really super into like this, you know, looking all prim and proper. Where like where Elizabeth Warren, you're right, she's a little bit too much like, you know, like the nerd in your class who's like correcting everyone, and so I think her energy might be a little bit off, but she's just so correct on so many things.
She's got a lot of great ideas.
When it comes to like I said, I am way further left than any of the presidential candidates. But Elizabeth Warren is, for like a presidential candidate in the United States, I think that her heart's in the right place. I think when she's talking about actually breaking up companies, I'm like, fuck yes.
The far left has a lot of people hate the far left. Do you think it's because they don't understand it?
Yeah, I think probably. And I think that some people think that it's like a pipe dream, and
people think the far left, when they think far left, they think of SJWs with dyed hair screaming at someone, and
yeah.
I don't see you ever screaming at someone or getting that angry. You'd like sarcastically make fun of them is more your style.
Yeah, I'm...
Also, if you want to own someone...
I'm like a little too irony poisoned to like get like super worked up, but... What were you saying?
I'd say that if you wanted to bury someone, like if you really wanted to fucking just own someone, you would. You would get out a shovel and bury them. I've seen you end people before.
I think I've put up with like a lot of people's bullshit, and I've also gone through like parts of my life of like being treated badly by people and like letting people walk all over me. You know what I mean?
Do you remember that one guy I worked at Wendy's with, Robert? That he came over and he tried to like psychoanalyze everyone and was like trying to like psychoanalyze your life after like only knowing you for like 2 hours, and he thought that he was like some sort of genius. He thought that he was like this really smart. He would always talk about how good his IQ was, and we had a few beers out back, and you fucking buried him. He tried to psychoanalyze you, and you flipped it back on him and psychoanalyzed him, and I think you called everything in his life. Like, you just think you're smart because you sat on the internet from the time you were 14 and listened to Marilyn Manson and all this shit, and you buried him.
I don't even remember that.
I
was probably drunk and just talking shit.
It was really good shit talking. It was some of the best. Some of the best I've seen.
I think especially the easiest people to shit talk are like men who are actually insecure but putting on a facade. Which, to be fair, is a lot of young men in this day and age.
Well, because like a lot of young men don't have like any identity yet.
Yeah.
But they still have, like, confidence for some reason.
Yeah, it's because, like, a lot of the way our society is structured, it, like, amplifies men's voices just, like, inherently. That's just been, like, studied, like, over and over again.
What are you saying? What was that? Shut up.
I mean, it's just, like, at this point, it's not really, like, even, like, disputable, like, that, you know, teachers, men and women, will, like, pick, you know, young boys to answer questions more often, and that, you know, men interrupt women more often, you know, like, stuff like that. And I think that for some reason it just gives men a sense of confidence without them actually being good.
That's the best way to piss you off, is to interrupt you.
Yes.
If you want to, like, if I wanted to, like, really make you mad, I would just, like, keep interrupting you. I wouldn't do that. But that is, like, your biggest pet peeve, is people interrupting you.
And I understand that, like, in a typical conversation with other humans,
there's casual interruption.
Yeah, like, people will take a pause and they'll cut in when they have something that relates to the conversation, and that's totally normal.
Or, like, a small quip.
Yeah.
Like I just did.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna be upset about that. It's not like I just want to be the one talking all the time. But that being said, I know some people who interrupt so much, and I will quietly listen, and I will notice how often they interrupt men versus how often they interrupt me, and it is vastly different. And I'm not just inventing it.
No. And I've noticed that there will be times when someone... It's always when they're saying something dumb. It's always when they're saying something fucking stupid, and you're waiting for that. You wait for them to finish, and then you start, like, to explain why they're wrong, and they will just, like, shout over what you're saying until you stop.
Just steamroll the conversation, you know. And even it's not even people that, like, I think realize that what they're... Often people are not consciously trying to, like... People don't often think, like, oh, I'm sexist. No, nobody fucking thinks that. No, I mean, very few people. You'll have, like, some people...
Like MRAs.
Yeah, you'll have some people who think, like, oh yeah, women are dumber, or whatever.
I'm not sexist, I just think men are better.
Yeah. But, like, I'll have... Like, I know people who, like, legit think that they're, like, woke liberals. But then, like, in conversation, or, like, the things they say, I'm like, you know... I feel like I'm not taken seriously by them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And...
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Like when we were trying to explain to our friend his complete misunderstanding of what anarchism is. I don't think he's ever read anything about, like, academic anarchism and, like, what that means in, like, a political sense. Mm-hmm. But he just wanted to say what he thought was true.
Yeah.
And was, like, trying to tell us that we were wrong. That's always fun.
Yeah, people that are, like, they feel like they're experts.
without actually learning any of the material.
Yeah, I love that.
I think the second that you admit that you know nothing is the second that you can start to begin the process of learning.
Yeah. I really do, yeah. I think that... And I think that a lot of people... And probably... I'm sure I do this too. People don't want to admit, like, when they don't know stuff. People don't want to admit when they're wrong.
No, I never admit that I'm wrong. Sometimes I'll, like, when I'm wrong, I'll finish the conversation, try and save face, think about it later, and then change my mind. Oftentimes when I'm lying awake at night. Because I fall asleep for like 2 hours, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm awake now. Mm-hmm. And then I sit there and I vape for a second, I just lie in bed and I think for about an hour until I fall asleep. That's usually when the mind changing begins.
Yeah. Well, okay, I was just thinking about, I don't know if this reminded me of like the She Rates Dogs account.
Oh my fucking god, that was so funny. I started crying.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard, I started crying at work.
Well, because we were talking about, like, the the She Rates Dogs account on Twitter, if you don't know, it's like a kind of a spin-off of the We Rate Dogs, where they say like, oh, this is a cute pupper. He's
10 out of 10.
12 out of 10, you know, whatever. But as She Rates Dogs is people send in like bad interactions they've had with on like Tinder or
just any dating interaction.
Yeah, or just like Snapchat messages with their ex-boyfriend or whatever. And it is hysterical. Often very sad and just men behaving very badly.
Let me, I'll pull it up and I'll read it to you.
Yeah.
It's a great account. Like, I just love the whole account.
Totally. It's amazing. Recently, the She Rates Dogs account tweeted, like...
Wait, I've got it pulled up.
Oh, you've got it?
Almost.
Okay.
I don't know where it is.
Well, while you're looking for it, there's a different thing I want to talk about with the She Rates Dogs.
Yeah, go for it.
But,
I'm still looking.
They tweeted a statistic about, like, how young men are not getting laid as often. Like, I think just, like Gen Z and millennial men are having, like, less sex than ever before. And...
Because they're fucking up. They don't know how to interact with society.
Exactly. And she tweeted, she's like, oh, I wonder why. And it's like, it's just that kind of thing where, like, I think that there's kind of, like, an awakening and a consciousness that women are just, like, not putting up with men's bullshit anymore, you know? And that's 100%. Just go to her account.
I can't find it. Did you send it to me?
Just go to She Rates Dogs.
You didn't send it to me.
Okay, go to the She Rates Dogs account.
I can't find it. That's it. Forget it. So the account was, or it was a Tinder profile, and the name on the Tinder profile was No Fat Chicks. And so the first...
Found it.
Okay.
No, his name on Tinder is No Fat Chicks. He says, I'm super into working out, lifting weights, being healthy is my biggest passion in life. I'd like a girl that's into fitness like me and works out at least once a week. Yes, sadly, somehow I'm fat. But I believe...
Yes, sadly, I am fat.
Somehow.
I am the thing I despise. It happened to me.
But I believe healthiness is a lifestyle. I work out with extreme intensity every day.
Fuck, why am I fat? I hate it.
I don't know how I'm fat, to be honest. I'm down to date a fat girl as long as she exercises like me. But there's no way a girl can work out as much as me and still be fat. My fatness is legit a mystery. I shouldn't be fat.
The thing is that a lot of that I agree with. I don't like the double standard he's creating. I think that's wrong. But yeah, for some people, their fatness is just legit. They can't control it. I think he's a little dumb to assume. If a woman were me, this would never happen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. For him to say, like, it's only me that this is happening to. There's no way anyone else works out like me and is fat like me.
Even though studies...
It's just me.
Even though studies have shown that, like, you're, like, how fat you are, how fit you are is, like, really so determined by genetics. Like, I think, like, 95% of people eat, like, within the same calorie count and eat, like, this similar food. Like, we all eat the same thing. We all pretty much eat the same portions. Just, like, some people are fat. They can't control it. Like, you can hack the system if you, like, work really fucking hard and eat insanely healthy and go to the gym every day. But that's not, like... That's not reality for a lot of people, but fatness is kind of genetic. this guy, for him to say that,
it's just like such like self-loathing and unawareness, just like dripping through.
Right, and he's pointing it outward at the other people. I wonder how many times he's gotten laid from that profile. It's like even skinny chicks are gonna see that and be like, no fat chicks? What an asshole.
What a fucking asshole.
Yeah. So you're cutting out all the fat chicks, first of all. Like, there could be, like, a really cute fat girl who's, like, really nice that you're very attracted to. Boom, you just ended all your chances there. Skinny girls are gonna be like, oh, what an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
So you've just really eliminated the field. You've you've taken yourself out of the game.
Then you're forgetting there's someone that is down with it, cares about fitness, but then he's fat.
Like, sorry, no fat guys.
Yeah.
I have the same opinion as you, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're exactly the same, you and I. And it's not happening.
Yeah.
We agree on every single fucking issue.
Yeah.
My fatness is a fucking mystery, too. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh my god.
God, I love that guy. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah, if you look, the She Rates Dogs account is so good. And then people will say, like, now people will say in their Tinder bios, like, just trying to not end up on She Rates Dogs, you know?
True. Okay, here's some advice for people that may be entering the dating scene soon. First off, delete Tinder. Just fucking delete the app. Don't even try that. It's just a hell site. It's never gonna work. Okay? It works for some people that are really good at like Tinder game and like texting game. You're probably not one of those people. Just delete the app fucking entirely and talk to people in real life. Just find girls and become friends with them, and if they like you, just like treat them like a friend, and you will be infinitely better than doing anything on Tinder, because you're setting yourself up for failure on Tinder. Tinder is 100% objectification. 100% they're just taking a snapshot of what you look like, and unless you look like Brad fucking Pitt, that is a bad strategy.
If you just want to have fun and get laid, then you can go on Tinder, and that's totally cool. No judgment.
I think that's no judgment from me, but I think you're setting yourself up for failure. I think there's no way you're getting laid. There are hundreds of guys on Tinder who are hotter than you. And probably not as nice as you, maybe. Maybe you have better like personal traits, but those are not gonna shine through on Tinder. Those are gonna shine through in the real world. Like someone like me, I'd probably struggle on Tinder. Like just like my dumbass face, like a picture of me playing the guitar, like, oh look, I play guitar. Like girls are just gonna be like swipe left. But in real life, like I have some sort of like charisma and I'm like just nice to people. So like I was much more successful in the real world. I think now if you're on Grindr, that's a fucking website right there. If you're looking for a hookup, just go on Grindr. You'll have a much more fun time.
I'm sure.
I'm sure too.
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. Even if you're a woman.
Well, you get kicked off.
Just
you guys remake a new account, yeah.
Yeah, just remake a new account. You'll be fine. You just create a new email address. On Gmail, you can create 500 if you want. Have you heard the story of the girls on Grindr?
Yeah, bi girls on Grindr, yeah.
Or straight girls on Grindr even. Straight girls are going on Grindr, and everyone's like, why are straight girls going on Grindr? Like, oh, because bi guys are like just more respectful, and I've had like way better interactions there. Like, bi guys exist. Like,
find yourself a bi guy.
On Grindr, it's a great strategy.
Mm-hmm. That is the strat.
I mean, I'm sure you'll talk to a couple guys that are like, no, sorry. I just want to get my whole dominated. I want to get my whole dominated tonight, right now. No, I think dating apps are probably just like a terrible idea.
Yeah, I never really used them, so I can't say. I can't make an opinion.
I did, but I never like nothing happened.
Yeah,
I don't really remember because I was like when I was like 18 that Tinder came out.
Yeah,
I was in no position to be fucking anyone at 18 years old.
Yeah, everyone I ever dated, I met just in person through friends.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. That's just what happened with me, but I also like I'm a very like friendly and personable. And I understand that not everybody is like that some people have a hard time going out and meeting people in person, and they are better at talking to people online first. And if that is how there have been lots of successful relationships that have fomented online.
I agree.
So I want to say if that works for you. Some people have met.
I agree. I think Twitter is a great place just to maybe meet someone and just be like real, like just have like a real like moment where you like get along, rather than like Twitter. It's like, let's fuck, here's my dick.
Yeah, I do think a lot of people on Tinder end up do end up just looking for hookups, but I'm sure some people just meet to... You can be clear about that in your profile, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm against Tinder 100%.
I have no opinion. I've never used it.
I only have seen the bad moments, so maybe my bias
it seems like a hell site.
It seems like a hell site, and I don't know if it's possible to come across well on Tinder.
Yeah.
I certainly don't think my Tinder account would do very well.
Yeah.
You'd probably get... No, even I don't think you would do well on Tinder. I think you would get harassed. And you would be like a sea of people that you like aren't interested in.
Our camera died, but we figured that would be a good stopping point. So thank you for joining us on the Failchildren podcast, and we hope to see you next time.
And go to kingandqueenoftheLosers.bandcamp.com so we can have some money. Oh yeah, fuck. Yes, love the dance. Killing it.